It is story time, guys. So if you are new here, welcome. Remember, this channel is all about real life stories about relationship, marriage, betrayal, and all that. So if you're a lover of real life stories you can learn from, kindly subscribe and turn on your notification bell. All right. So let's dive into the story of the day. This man said he wants to share his story about how life dealt with him before he get to the point where he is today. He said he's from Enugu State and he's currently 34 years old. His parents died when he was little, very, very little, when he doesn't even know what the meaning of death is. That was when the parents died. And after the parents' death in Enugu State, the father's brother, like his father's siblings, took over everything. Now, I'm just going to add this. I don't know why these things are common. Yes, I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I should use myself as an example because that was exactly what happened when my father died many, many years ago. But this story is not about me. Let's move on to who this story is all about. So he said after the father died, the siblings took over everything. They took over everything, including generator, past my neighbor generator, and fan that is even on the ceiling. They took over every single penny and left him stranded. Not like they left him stranded, they even push him out of the family because his father is dead. He shouldn't have anything to do with the family. But then there is this woman who is also a wife to the father's brother, okay, and the husband is also dead. So because the husband is also dead, the same family is treating this woman the same way they are treating the boy. Maybe because whatever it is that is holding them as family in that particular compound or in that particular family is gone. So for that reason, the family member are ready to dispose them and take over the properties of the woman's husband and his own father. You understand? But before they chase them out of the family, one of them was asking the woman if she wants to live her life taking care of another woman's child, that she's still young to remarry since her husband is dead. She should just remarry and live a normal life. But the woman was like, oh, if you people sees this boy as a burden, then she herself, she's going to take care of him. So after that incident that day, she took the guy, which is the guy that wants to share his story. She took the guy and traveled from Enugu State to Lagos State. Now remember that this is a real life story, okay? Took him to Lagos State. So when they get to Lagos State, they were able to afford Face Me I Face You apartment in Lagos State. Now, note that this particular woman is a government worker. She's a senior government officer. But because she now have a burden of taking care of this guy, she already knew that there is no how a government salary will be enough to take care of a child. So what this woman did was to start frying akara in front of their compound. Imagine a graduate, a government worker frying akara just to take care of another man's child or another woman's child. Now, she was able to enroll him into secondary school and took care of him, feed him and all that. But while all those things were going on, this guy said that at some point he became very ashamed of the woman and he started dodging this woman. That most times he will even pass where the woman fries akara and pretend not to see her. All right. So he said one of those days when he was hiding, the woman saw him and called him. And when he came, he gave him fried potato and tell him not to worry, that he's going to get the kind of life he won't be ashamed of, that kind of thing. So according to this man, he said after that day, he stopped being ashamed of her because already he's grown to know that, oh, this woman is not my mom and this woman is really sacrificing a lot for me. So that was how he started supporting this woman. Then after secondary school, he wrote jump and pass and got into university to study engineering. Now he said when he got admission, which is meant to be a thing of joy, of course, to study engineering in the university, but it wasn't a thing of joy to them because there is no money actually. But he also said something that got me surprised, that this woman sold the only piece of good that she have just to pay for the necessary fees and all that, and that was how he got into the university. He said during the university days it was not easy. Oh, it was not easy at all at all. But to the glory of God, he was able to pass through university and came out as a graduate of engineering. And after some time, he got a job in the UK to be a senior consultant as in the engineering firm, and that was how he traveled. to the UK. So he lived in the UK for some years while the woman was still frying akara back in Lagos State. Okay, so after some years in the UK, he was able to make some money and decided to come back home to like take care of the woman and surprise the woman and all of that. So he made a plan to come back. But before he even entered Nigeria, he was able to acquire a house for this woman. A woman that did something like this for you. I mean, you are even supposed to owe this woman your life, of course. you know so he bought a house with the woman's name, furnished the house, and did every other thing for this woman before he even landed in Nigeria. So when he landed in Nigeria, he was able to trace the place. Of course he should. There is where he grew up, because the woman was still living in exact same place, in exact same compound. So when he got to the woman's store where she fries akara, the woman couldn't recognize him because he's all grown now, when you left the struggles of Nigeria to the UK and all that. So the woman couldn't recognize him. But then he called out to the woman and he called her mama. So through the voice, the woman was able to know that, oh, my son. And the woman rushed to him and started crying. They hug, they laugh, they cried together and all that. And the guy was able to, appreciate this special woman in his life. So after all that, he told the woman that he wants to take her to somewhere. And he took the woman to the house he bought for her. The woman was surprised. According to him, he said the woman couldn't hold her joy. She was just everywhere. At first, she couldn't even sit down. She was just walking around from one room to the other, looking at, the beauty of the house, the kind of house she has never entered before and all that. And finally, she cried, knowing that this is now my new home. That night, she slept like a baby. She slept without noise that night, and she was so, so grateful. Now, this guy says he provided everything this woman wants before he returned back to the UK. And he also promised the woman that he's going to take care of her till the end of time. This guy said the woman asked him a question that he will never forget. That the woman said that when he was taking care of him, he was just taking care of a child. He never knew he was taking care of somebody that will call her mother and somebody that will even take care of her at the end of it. And this man said that this is one thing he will never forget in his life. Now he's kind of, telling his story to appreciate this woman, to thank this woman for giving him life, for giving him opportunity, for giving him the good life, because everything he's doing today, everything he is today, he owe it to this woman. So please drop your comment in the comment section. Appreciate this woman. Whatever it is, just say it out there. If you have an advice, advise him and all that.